Shalom, everybody. Um, just coming to get ready to get going with this study. I'm gonna give it a little time to build up. I need for you all to basically come to understand that there is no rapture. I think it's very important that we get through our head that nobody's going to be raptured out of here and floating off into, the sky. That's not going to happen. So Christianity has lied to us long enough, and I think it's important that we get an understanding about that. So shalom, everybody. Can you let me know if you're hearing me okay, if the sound is coming in good? If so, can you send me some thumbs up so I can make sure that I'm being heard? So you guys can hear me good? We good? Yeah. Shalom, Philip. Shalom, Sarah, Roy. All of you all that came on, shalom. Thank you guys for taking time to listen, to me. I don't take that for granted. The word says that we're supposed to, cry out like trumpets. We're supposed to sound the trumpet, and so sometimes when you sound in the trumpet, everybody's got their own horn that they want to blow, and they're not blowing it according to what the word is telling us. They just kind of spattering out stuff according to their own vain thoughts and imagination. So I don't take for granted for you guys that do listen and understand that, the trumpet that I'm sounding is of the Most High. I'm strictly about word, prophecies. I'm trying not to get into debates with people. Someone said they can't hear me properly, or some say they can't hear me properly. Some say they can hear me properly. Which is it? Because I got a lot of reading to do, and I'm trying not to hold the phone because I really got to focus on this, on what I'm going to be reading, because it's going to be a lot of reading. And so, if I got to talk louder, I will. So, but if I pick this phone up, we're going to be all day while I'm trying to read this. So, maybe you need to turn your phone up, because some people say they can hear me pretty good. So, and then there's some that say they can't. So I'm confused. Which one is it? Okay, let's see how many I get for all that can hear. Give me some likes, and then I'll be able to determine for those that can hear me. Okay. Let me see if I can pick. I guess I'm going to have to pick it up. All right. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I'm going to try to see if I can read it while holding this thing. But, like I said, I'm coming from Ezra's 4. Or it says 4 Ezra's. It's in the Apocrypha. And because it's in the Apocrypha, we have to come to understand that, these books were left out of the Bible. So I suggest that you all get an apocryphal book. I suggest that I'm reading from my Sefer book, but the fourth book of Ezra has a lot of detail. I probably do need a new phone. I ain't even gonna lie, Sarah. So it's probably time. I've had this one for a couple of years. So anyway, when you're reading the fourth book of Ezra, a lot of stuff that's going on, people are really like trying to make up in their mind what it is that they're seeing, because they're seeing so much chaos. They're seeing so much hurricanes and all of the violence, and they're seeing like the eclipses, and they're seeing all type of weather disasters coming in, earthquakes destroying thousands, and desolation, and they're seeing all of this. And so rather than just understand how much they have to anchor down in this word and go to these lost books and go to the Bible within itself to see how they are to overcome this. They just believe, they rather go back to believing that Christian lie, saying, oh, well, you know, Jesus finna come back and we finna get raptured out of here. We finna get sucked up out of here, so we don't have much longer. That's not the case. So rather than understand that you have to endure this stuff, that you have to endure the earthquakes, the hurricanes, the violence, the wars, you have to withstand this. You're not going to be sucked up out of here with no rapture. The word says, of course, you all see where it says, and we all should be caught up within a moment with a twinkling of an eye. Okay, that's not the rapture is in sense saying that you're going to be caught up out of here and taken out of here. That's the sense according to the word that the Messiah said, I will gather my people and I will gather them from all four corners of the earth and I shall place them on Mount Zion. See, that's still on the earth. He's going to come and place his people on Mount Zion. That's as far as your rapture is going to go. But that's only going to happen after you've proven yourself righteous enough to endure what's going to befall upon this earth. See, not everybody going to get to go and dwell on Mount Zion. So I think we need to understand that's about as close as your rapture going to get. And when we are caught up, he's talking about the house of Israel, those that were righteous, those were able to withstand all of the stuff that I'm about to read to you in the book of Ezra, Ezra 4, okay? Ezra and Nehemiah were both prophets. Even if you read the book of Nehemiah, you'll see that Ezra and Nehemiah worked together to try to bring the house of Israel back unto righteousness and bring them back into keeping the Torah, because at this time our people were in captivity by the Persians, who was under the reign and rulership of King Artaxerxes. Some of you may have known him as Xerxes. These were our people that were in the captivity, and Ezra and Nehemiah were praying to the Most High to deliver them and to give them something to pull them back together so they can get out of captivity. And so basically what Nehemiah did, he went back to the ruins of Jerusalem. Artaxerxes gave him permission to go and build up the walls in Jerusalem, and he went back and started digging through the ruins, and he found the Torah. He found the Torah. Him and Ezra found the Torah, and they realized that because they had been breaking the commandments and not keeping the Torah, that they had not kept it in so many hundreds of years. That's why they were in captivity. That's why their oppressors, who were at the time the Persians, were ruling and reigning over them and causing them so much affliction and killing them off and enslaving them. So what they had to do was come together and sift through the Torah, go through these scriptures, sift through them to find out that they only found out that they had not been keeping the Passover, that they had not been doing the feast days, that they had not been doing Torah, that they had been eating detestable and abominable things. So Ezra had to go through the Torah, he and Nehemiah, and Ezra stood before the people day for day, a whole day, reading the word, telling them how they need to pull it and get it back together in order for them to be delivered from their afflictions. So this is the whole purpose of Ezra. So I suggest you all get the Apocrypha so you can see all of the lost books that they actually took out of this Bible. Now, Ezra was a man that was greatly favored by the Most High. And the reason why, because he sought after the Most High continually. He had questions. He questioned a lot of things that was going on with Israel while they were in captivity. He questioned why the oppressors were ruling over them. He questioned how is it that they are getting away with so much wicked and evil. You know, you say that we are your people, Most High, but why is it that you punish us and the heathens and the oppressors get away with doing so much wicked? See, he questioned the Most High. He had some of the same questions that some of us have right now. And if you read Ezra 4, go through those books, you'll see that he answered and he fasted for his answers. He fasted for days to get answers from the Most High. And so he sent the angel Uriel to him to answer him. And he basically said this. Uriel let him know, it is because you all are the chosen people of the earth. He said the earth was made for you, for the house of Israel, for the seed of Jacob. He said, and because you all sinned and you went away from the Torah and you stopped keeping the commandments of the Most High and you provoked him, he said, this is why your oppressors ruled over you. This is why these heathens are able to do whatever they want to do and still be able to get away with it. Because he said, these people are not my people. They are not the people of the Most High, but you are. So now you wondering, now all of you just wondering, why is all this stuff happening? Why black people have it so hard? Why are we being killed? Why are we being enslaved? Ezra had the same questions. He wanted to know, too, why this was going on. Now, I'm going to read 4 Ezras, and I'm going to start at chapter 5. And I'm going to kind of skip around because I'm going to read some from chapter 5. And then I'm going to read some from chapter 6 and 7. This is a lot of reading. I hope that you all pay attention to what I'm reading. I may not stop until I'm kind of finished or in between. It depends on how the Ruach leads me. But if you listen very closely, you will see that a lot of your answers will come to, a lot of your questions will be answered. A lot of your thoughts will be put to ease. A lot of you that are thinking that you're going to be gone out of this madness, you're going to see that that's a lie straight out the gates of hell. And we really should have thought about it while we were in church about how they were lying to us about being poofed and raptured out of here. Because when you read, you always will hear them say, the meek shall inherit the earth. If the meek are the righteous and they're going to inherit the earth, then how is it we're going to be raptured out of here, out of the earth? That makes no sense. Either we're going to inherit this earth, or we're going to be poofed and I'll be sucked up into the heavens and not ever get to have dominion over this earth. Which one is it? So we weren't thinking back then because we were asleep. But now that we know better, we have to understand that it's not about you freaking out at all of this hell and chaos that's going on around you. It's about you standing strong and keeping this Torah and knowing that if you live through these days, that you shall be counted as righteous and that you shall be able to inherit the earth. That's what it's about. Okay? So, I'm going to start here at the 4th. And I'm reading from my Sefer. And like I said, the wording is very small, so I hope I can see. And if, I'm gonna say this because I normally, for some strange reason lately, whenever I make these videos, they seem to get cut off in the middle. And then I have to come back. But if this thing cuts off, we all know Hasatan is busy, then I'm going to continue with the part 2. A lot of you all have seen somewhere I had to do part 1 and part 2 with these videos. So when you're sharing them, make sure you share part 1 and part 2. Some of you are just giving people the first part and then it gets chopped off and then you leave them stuck like they don't know what else was said. So, you know, I hope that I don't get cut off, but if I do, then just continue right back onto it and we'll finish this. Okay? Now, Ezra's, pay attention to his manner and pay attention to his characteristic and his lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, we're going to have to aspire to be like some of these prophets were, you know, and prophets that sought after the Most High. You know, we're going to have to start seeking him on a higher level. And it may require you, you know, to have days where you can't eat all the chicken you want and eat all the foods you want and drink all the soda you want and fill your belly. It may require you actually denying yourself food and water, fasting. Not fasting like, oh, I decided I'm not going to drink Coke today or I'm not going to eat candy today. That's the heathens fasting. When these people fasted, they took nothing in their mouths. Only they will allow certain things. If the angel told him, one day he told Ezra, you can eat off the fields of the flowers. Flowers, that's what you can eat for 7 days. Flowers. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't very filling. But at the end of the day, for the most part, these people drank water or they had no food or no water, period. So we're going to have to bring ourselves back unto that type of lifestyle if we're expecting for the Most High to fill us with his righteousness and understanding about what's going on. We cannot continue to keep filling our bellies with these heathens' food and then sitting around all fat and happy and thinking that, for all the things you're questioning and wondering about, the Most High is going to hear you. You have to crucify your flesh and discipline your ruach and your spirit. And this is what Ezra was doing. This is what a lot of the prophets did, like Moshe and all of them. This is what they did. So, here we are. Ezra, the 4th Ezra, the 5th chapter. It says, as coming to the tokens, behold, the days shall come. And he's talking about the end days. So listen. He said, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which above which now you see, and that you have heard long ago. And the land that you now see have root, shall you see wasted suddenly. But if El Elyon grant you to live, you shall see after the 3rd shofar that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And blood shall drop out of the wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled, and even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall take their flight away together, and the Sidonish, or the sea, shall cast out fish, and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wisdom hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth, and the land also shall ask another. Is there any righteous that make a man righteous gone through you? And it shall say no. At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. So, do you see the condition of the state of the world, of what it's in? This is what he was letting Ezra know, that in the latter days, this is what it was coming to. Okay? So, here we are. I just read, 4 Ezra's chapter 5, 1 through 12. That's what I just read. It talked about how the fish shall give up in the sea. Basically, you're seeing dead fish floating everywhere. It said that fire shall strike out, and that the animals, the wild beasts, shall flee from their place. The animals are running. You see what I'm saying? Fires are breaking out. The sea is giving up its fish. You're seeing floating dead fish everywhere. It says that each friend shall betray each other, meaning that there'll be no loyalty, period. Violence is going to take over the earth. The people are going to betray the land itself. A man in the land is going to be like looking for anybody that's got some wisdom, because all wit and wisdom are going to go out the window because of unrighteousness. This is why you see so many people that you thought had wisdom, that you thought had some type of understanding about the Most High. You see them just losing their mind, because all wit and understanding is going to go out of this earth. Only a few, and the righteous are going to be the ones that maintain. So this is why you can't be so geared into following or high-fiving certain people and saying, I only listen to my prophet this, or I only listen to this prophet is that. I only follow that person. I only follow this. That's crazy. Shame on you if you're putting your confidence and thinking that you got to listen to every... That the only way you're going to get salvation is through listening to every prophet or priest. Because if he's telling you that wit and wisdom is going to go off the earth and they're going to be wondering where is it, that means a lot of people are going to be out of their mind. And you're going to be following crazy men and crazy women, thinking that they're leading you to the Most High. So be careful. This is why I tell people we got to get into the mind frame of like what Ezra did. He did a lot of praying, a lot of fasting, and calling, and reading, and studying, and asking and seeking the wisdom of the Most High. This is what you better do. Just so you can guarantee yourself. Okay? Now, I read that so I can move you over to chapter 6. Okay? And basically, Ezra had all of these questions. He saw what he saw. The angels told him basically what I just read, what it was that he was seeing. And then after the angel stopped, if you notice in chapter 12, he stopped telling him stuff. He said, okay, basically, I've told you this. Now go and fast some more. Fast for another 7 days. And then I'll come back and I'll give you some more answers to your questions. See, he didn't feed him everything at one time. Because he knew what according to the Ruach, what Ezra's spirit was able to obtain and be able to hold for that time in that moment. So he told him to go and fast and basically recondition your Ruach again to be ready to receive the next thing I'm going to tell you, Ezra. This is what Uriel, the angel whom the Most High sent to him to answer. This is what he's telling him, because too much of this stuff, when you don't understand what's really going on, he feeds us like babies. He spoon feeds us so much at a time, because a lot of people will lose their mind because they can't obtain all of the knowledge and the wisdom of the Most High at one time. It can be frightening to those that are not truly seeking and fasting and conditioning their spirit. Okay? So now I'm going to move to the 6th chapter. And then I'm going to read to you what the angel said to him when he came back to him the second time. Or this could be the third, because if you read 5 through 10, you'll see he kept returning to him. Okay? And he said unto me, this is what the angel said unto Ezra. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or either the wind blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever inventors of them that now in sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. So here's the Most High giving him and telling him before everything it is that you see, he let him know it was me. Before all of the foundations, all of what he just named, it was me. So he's letting Ezra know, I have the answers to the beginning and to the end. He's establishing to Ezra, no matter how confused your little mind may be, or how you may not be able to determine all the things that you see and understand, he let him know I was before all of that. So I have an answer to all of it. Because I find that the Most High don't leave us in confusion. We leave our own self in confusion because we refuse to adhere to his word and understand what it is that he wants us to do. If you seek after him and eat up the little, and he sees that you can stomach the little, then he'll be willing to give you much more. But most people can't even stomach the little. Okay? And then you think you're going to get much more. He's not going to give you understanding. He's not going to give you the mysteries of his kingdom. So you need to humble yourself, swallow up the little, take it, let it recondition you, let it chasten your ruach, let it bring your spirit and your flesh under subjection, and then and receive it gladly without murmuring and complaining. Then he'll be willing to show you the rest. Okay? So here we go. It says, and by me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of that follows? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand, or Yaakov hand, held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. The hand of man is betwixt the heel of the hand. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand, and other questions. Ezra's ask you not. So basically he's letting them know the beginning, the end of time is Esau. This is why all this wickedness and all this hell is on earth. But the beginning of the time that is to come is of Jacob. We're of the Jacob seed. We're to bring righteousness and goodness to this earth. And all of the hell that's on this earth is going to be destroyed. Because it was brought by way of Esau. And you say, Esau, who is Esau? Who is the man that is ruling 99% of the earth? He has his face and his nose and everything on all nations. And all the riches have been hoarded up by him. And only a few that he's allowed to disperse it with. So we're talking about the white man. That's Esau. That's his seed. And some of you say, oh, no, that can't be. He's our brother. He looks like us. Wait a minute. If you read your word, I read in Jeremiah 50, it said that Esau hides himself amongst the nations and his seed is mixed. That means he's went in, he's mixed himself amongst all nations, amongst all of the other nations. And so he hides himself. This is why you all are having a hard time trying to figure out who's Esau, who not Esau. Because he's mixed himself. But the Most High knows who he is. And his people that are chosen, we know who he is too. Okay? We know exactly who he is. But those of you who are confused, you're going to forever say, oh, he looked just like us. He light-skinned, but he had a red beard. No, he's mingled himself with many nations. So we know what he looks like. The white man. Okay? And then when you look at the white woman, she's mingled herself with every brother in every nation, every Asian, Moabite, she's on all over the planet. Because he uses her to mingle his seed. He uses her and himself to mingle his seed with other nations. So don't be deceived. Okay? Now, the Most High is telling Ezra to not to ask any more questions, because now he's fixing to answer him something. Again, he says, I answered then and said, O Yahuwah, that bear rule, if I have found favor in your sight. See, Ezra still, he knows the Most High has favor with him. So he's like, I know, but I got one more question. If I found favor in your sight, just let me ask it. He said, I beseech you, show your servant the end of your tokens, whereof you showed me part of the last night. So he's like, you showed me part of it last night. Can you show me the rest? I'm beseeching you. See, he really had favor. He could just kind of keep pushing the Most High for questions and answers. Okay? He said, and I beseech you. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon your feet and hear a mighty sounding voice. And it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where you stand shall not move. So he's letting him know, stand up on your feet. And I'm fixing to show you something. He said, and where you stand, your feet are not going to move, but you're going to see all the time and elements moving around you. So he's basically, it's almost like the movie The Matrix. They're standing in one place, but they see everything else moving in motion. Yeah, that's where that comes from. So he's letting them know, I'm fixing to show you something. And you're going to see everything. He's letting them see what's to come in the future. So he's giving them a glimpse, and the world is moving around him in another dimension where he's going to get to see what's to come. It said, and he answered and said unto me, and it shall be as it were great motion and move, and therefore when it speaks, be not afraid, for the world is of the end, and the foundations of the earth is understood. So he let him know it's going to speak. You're going to hear some things and murmurings coming from the earth. You're going to hear sounds. But he told him, don't be afraid, for the world is of the end, and the foundations of the earth is understood. So he let him know the foundations of the earth are going to make sounds when I show you this, because they understand the end of the world. And so even within that, it still makes them make sounds, or it puts them in fear, because they understand what's coming. The earth understands what's coming. Okay? And now he says, and therefore, when it speaks, be not afraid. Okay, the 15, it says, and why? Beseech thee, the speech of these things trembles, and it moves. For it knows that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood upon my feet and heard, and behold, there was a voice that spoke, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw near and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And I will begin to have and will begin to make inquisitions of them that they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the afflictions of Zion shall be fulfilled. So now he's saying, I'm going to start to make inquisitions of them. I'm going to draw myself near to those that have done unrighteously, and those that have hurt the children of the Most High, the children of Zion. See, that's what's happening. The earth, that's why the earth is shaking. That's why the hurricanes are being disturbed. That's why the foundations are breaking up, because the Most High is drawing near. And he started to make inquisition of those that are unrighteous and of those that have done unrighteously to his children who are of the house of Israel. That's what's happening. That's what you're seeing. When you're seeing all of this hell and chaos and destruction, people say, oh no, that's harp, that's man. Let me tell you something. And I want to be real clear about this. Satan, whose true name, according to the lost book, is Mastema, he has to go before the Most High every night at 12, at midnight, to get permission to do some of the things that he's doing in order to test and to stir up the hearts and bring chaos to mankind. Okay? So, when these things, like you say harp, some of you say harp, some of you say this or that, understand that if it's harp, the Most High is giving them the permission to do it. They can't do anything without his permission. The wicked, evil seed of Hasatan has no dominion over this earth. Only the Most High can give him permission. And if he says, okay, go ahead and stir up some stuff because I'm ready to judge them, because I'm ready to come near to them, then so be it. Do it. Because he said he was going to allow it to be so. See, this is the whole thing. So you can't give all this credit to man and all to Hasatan, because he said he created both the wicked and the evil. So he'll use them according to his own purpose in order to fulfill his word and his prophecy. All right? So, it said in the way again, and basically he's making inquisition, meaning judgment is coming. He's starting to say, why have you done this to my people? Why have the unrighteous continued to afflict my house? Why have the unrighteous continued to bring sin and wickedness and foulness to this earth? That's the inquisition. So, when you're seeing all this stuff going on, he's drawing closer. He's coming closer. And the closer he gets, the more the earth trembles and shakes and quakes, and the more men who are unrighteous start to fall and be killed off. Okay? Now, it says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. It says, and the book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of 1 year old shall speak with their voices, and women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months, and they shall live and be raised up. Now, you see these videos with these babies that ain't but a year old and they already talking. Then it's what it just said. The child of 1 year old shall be speaking. You see it now. It said the children that the women shall bring forth children at 3 and 4 months of birth, and they shall live. Premature babies. Yeah, that's why nobody can say that this word is not true. It's prophesied. It's letting you know what's going to be going on. Yeah, you got little babies that's sitting up talking and holding conversations. They can count, they can read, and they're only a year old talking. And then you have women that are giving birth early, going into premature labor. But the baby, back in the day, when a baby was born at 3 or 4 months, it died. Now you see they can live because they put them in the neonatal unit and they grow up and they be strong. Some of you on here were probably premature babies. So see, the word is true. And this was prophesied thousands of years ago. Okay? It says, and suddenly shall be sown places appear unsown. Shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the shofar shall bring a sound which when every man hears, they shall suddenly be afraid. Now, it said, and the shofar shall bring forth a sound that when every man hears it, they shall be afraid. I don't know if you guys pay attention to YouTube, but you can Google it. There's been sounds been blowing that sounds like a shofar. And when people hear it in their cities or in their, they get afraid because they don't know what's the sound. What they haven't heard it. So you can YouTube it. It's on there. You'll hear strange sounds being heard throughout the earth. The shofars are being blown. The angels are blowing them. And when people hear it, they're like, I don't know what that sound is, but it woke me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It sounded like some kind of, and you can hear it literally blowing. Okay? So you can't be so caught up in watching what's on TV and the soap operas and all of these reality shows and going to the club and drinking. See, and you're missing the signs of the return of the Most High who's drawing closer. Some of you need to snap out of that matrix because you're missing it. Your music is keeping you in a daze. You're missing it. So this stuff is already occurring. Okay? Now, it says, and at the time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So now he's letting you know that your friends are going to be fighting each other. So you see violence all the time. When you look at some of these videos, these people are killing each other and they're fighting. They're friends. They're cutting each other's throat. They're stabbing. They're shooting. Getting them set up to be killed. Yeah. There you go. That's another one. Okay? And then it says that the fountains shall stand still. And in 3 hours they shall not run. So you got waterfalls and fountains and things that are drying up, that are standing still. And all of a sudden, they just say, oh, well, it's because the tide was lowered in this certain part of the ocean. And so that's what stopped the fountain from it. But once the tide raises, then it'll come back flowing again. No, that's science. Man has an answer for everything. But the Most High is letting you know this is what's going on. Things are going to, you even see with the hurricane how it sucked up all the water out of the ocean, out of the beaches and out of the lagoons. Nothing. Dry. No, nothing flowing there. Stop. Suck. Just dry. It said, now listen to this part. This is how you know that you're not going to be raptured out of here, okay? Listen. This is verse 25. Whosoever remains from all these things that I have told you shall escape and see my Yeshua, his son. Okay? Whosoever remains and escape all these things, they shall see my son, Yeshua, the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, and who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turn into another meaning. So do you see what that means? You're not going to be tasting death if you're righteous, those that remain. So that little crap about, oh, I left behind, you want to be left behind. You want to be left behind. Do you get it? Because those that remain shall get to see his son, Yeshua, return. And they will see his kingdom being established. So all of that, I'm getting raptured out here. If you get pulled off this earth, or if you get killed before you see all this, that means you were counted as wicked and you were not counted as righteous. And so you will not be able to inherit the earth. So you're not getting raptured out of here. That's proof right there. Okay? It says, for evil shall be put out. Because this is what's going to happen when Yahushua comes. It says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As faith it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which was been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And when he talked with me, behold, I looked by a little and a little upon him before whom I stood. And these words said he unto me, I am come to show you the time of the night to come. If you will pray yet more and fast 7 days again, I shall tell you greater things. So see, once again, he letting him know basically his answer was answered for this particular thing. If you prevail through all of this, what I just described to you, the hurricanes, the disasters, the violence, the desolation, because in this book it's actually called the Great Threshing. That's what is referred to also in the book of Ezra as the great threshing. Threshing is when you take wheat and you beat it until the chaff separates from it, and then you have pure wheat. And that's the thing that you keep. That's the thing that you can use. But the chaff is discarded and it's burnt up because that's the thing that's not going to be used. So that's why they call it as the great threshing. So all of you that are going through stuff, that are being afflicted, that are being persecuted, because you're wanting to live righteous and you're separating yourself from the unrighteous things. Some of you are suffering from homelessness. Some of you are suffering from poverty. Some of you are suffering from rejection, sickness, whatever the case is. It's a threshing. It's to break off the chaff from you and to count you as being righteous. It's sealing you up, because if you can endure all of these things that you're seeing around you, and if you can continue to have your faith in the Most High and continue to keep His Torah, then you will see that when Yahushua comes, then you will be counted as righteous. And you will also be the one that will have the right to reign and rule and have dominion over this earth. So don't be praying that you get raptured out of here, okay? Now, I'm going to read the 7th chapter. And this is very important. And once I read the 7th, and this is going to be it. And here it's basically in this angel coming back to Ezra, because once again, he told him to fast some more. So that means we got to live a life unto fasting. Fasting once every blue moon is not going to help you. You're not going to get there. So we have to live a life unto fasting and prayer, okay? It says, and when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel, which had been sent unto me the night before. So here comes this angel again, because he's fasted, so he's ready to come to him again. He says, and he said unto him, up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell you. And I said, speak on, my Elohim. Then said unto him, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow. Now listen to this, y'all. This is when it says, wide is the path that leads unto the pathway of destruction, but narrow is the path that leads unto righteousness. This is going to let you know what you got to go through in order to get to where it is we want to be, okay? So pay attention to this. It says, but put the case, their entrance were narrow, and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it, and to rule it? And if he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and it is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and it is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was a fire on the right side, and on the left side a deep water. So he's describing the city. He's describing what you're going to have to go through in order to get there. Okay? It says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water. So on one side there's water, on one side there's fire. Okay? It's narrow. Too small that there could be but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man in an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance? Oh, bingo. If he shall not pass the dangers that are set before him, in other words, if he shall not endure the afflictions that are set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance? That means you got to go through some stuff in order to get there. You're going to have to endure to the end. This is why the word says the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but those that endure to the end. See, that's what you have. Endurance is the key. It says, and I said, it is so, Adonai. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Oh, he's talking about Israel. This is your portion. That place, that kingdom. But also this walk of getting through that narrow path. That's your, that's your plight. But that city, that place, it's your portion. It belongs to you if you can get through it. Get through all of the other stuff to get there, to endure. Because for their sakes, I made the world. Listen to this, y'all. For their sakes, the Most High said, I made the world. He made it for us. Okay? Israel. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. So he said it was always there for Israel. But when Adam transgressed his statutes, then it was decreed basically that it made it hard to get through. We weren't supposed to struggle to get through this. We were supposed to be made pure and immortal so we could already dwell in this. But because it said Adam transgressed. See, and the reason why a lot of people like to say, oh, Eve did it. Eve, the bottom line is Eve was under the dominion of Adam. He should have checked her. He should have corrected her. Like a lot of these brothers, need to understand. It takes righteousness to correct these women while you're going off on them. But at the moment when Adam saw what Eve was doing, all righteousness he put aside. And he went and he transgressed the statutes and the laws with her. He should have kept them and corrected her because he had dominion over her. But at the end of the day, now we both in this madness. We both in it together. So that's why we got to stop pointing fingers and realize that we both got to go through this narrow pathway with fire on one side and water on the other in order to get to that new city. See, we both got to deal with it now, okay? So no more of that debating stuff about Adam did, Eve did that, Adam didn't. No. We see here in Scripture that it says that Adam transgressed. But at the end of the day, we both did it. So now here we are trying to both struggle to get back. Okay? It says, then were the entrances of the world made narrow. See, that's what happened when sin and death came. He made the entrance to this place narrow. Made it hard for you to get in it now. Where at first you could have got in it with no problem. Before Adam and Eve fell, we were in it. We were already there. But now it's narrow. Full of sorrow and travail. This is what it's saying. They are but a few and evil. Full of perils and very painful. Look at what happened when you transgress. It made it very hard for us to get into this kingdom, to this place. Now this way is evil. Now this way is perilous. It's full of pain. This is what happened. Okay? Now in the 13th it says, for the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. Wow. So what he's letting you know, the entrance prior to that, of the elder world, it was wide. And it brought forth much fruit, and it was immortal fruit. Immortal fruit means that when you bit into it, you live forever. There was supposed to be no death or no sin. It used to be open to us, no problem. It says, if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So he letting you know, those that are lived, us, if we can't endure this, then we ain't going to be able to receive this. If we can't go through the pains and the labor and the afflictions, we're not going to be able to see it. Okay? We will not see the immortal paradise that we're believing to come. It says, now therefore, why disquiet yourself, seeing you are but a corruptible man? And why are you moved, whereas you are but mortal? Why have you not considered in your mind? This is the Adonai, the angel talking by way of Adonai, letting him talking to Ezra. He said, why have you not conceived in your mind the things that is to come, rather than that which is present? See, we so busy looking at what's going on in this moment until we're not even thinking about the things that are to come. That's why we got to get out of this matrix. I'm not worried about, that Kaepernick dude. I'm not worried about Trump. I'm not worried about, what's going on in the sporting events. I'm not worried about why mama didn't cook, pork chops last week because, we want to eat pork chops. All that crap is bull. I'm not worried about, polygamy. And we going to have sex with all these folks we want. I'm not worried about any of that mess. All I'm focused on is what's to come. And that's where our mind should be. That's why we need to get out of all of this debating and trying to sit here and prove a point about whether you right about this and wrong about that. You better get your mind focused on what's to come. Because a lot of you are going to get caught up in the present and you're going to be sucked out of your eternal blessings. Okay? This is what he's telling Ezra. Don't get so caught up in what you see right now. Focus your mind on what's to come. Because that's where you want to be. I want to be in what's to come. Because all of this is going to be destroyed. Including them debating Negroes that want to sit up and just post and start mess to cause division. All of them going to get wiped out of here too. Because he said, woe unto them that cause strife amongst the brethren and division amongst the house of Israel. See? So we really, the word tells us to avoid foolish questions. And some of this stuff, people just all ask questions and start debates. So see, don't worry about the present. You worry about what's to come. And he letting Ezra know, why are you concerned about that? Let's look at what's coming. It says, then answered I and said, O Yahuwah that bear rule, you have ordained in your Torah that the righteous shall inherit these things, but that the wicked shall perish. Once again, he said, Oh, Yahuwah, you have ordained in your Torah that the righteous shall inherit these things, but the wicked shall perish. That's what you need to have your mind on. That Torah and keeping yourself righteous, that you be not counted as wicked, so that you won't perish when the day of judgment is coming. That's what you need to keep your mind on, okay? Stay focused. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wider. That's what we're doing. We suffering the straight things. We're suffering walking on this narrow path, but we're hoping for the wider. We're hoping for the wider city that's to be established, that we're fighting to get into, that new kingdom. See? So right now we may be suffering on this side, but there's gain on the other side. And that's what we're striving for. It says, for they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. So see, those that are doing wickedly, they will have suffered the straight things, but they're not going to get to see the wide. They're not going to get there. They're not going to make it. And he said unto me, there is no judge above Elohim, and none that has understanding above El Elyon. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the Torah of Elohim that is set before them. Do you hear that? It said there will be many that shall perish in this life. They're going to be destroyed because they despise the Torah of Yahuwah Elohim. They despise it. Okay? That's why I'm going to get killed. It says, for Elohim has given straight commandment to such as came, and that what they should observe to avoid punishment. See? So Elohim has given them straight commandment. He's given them Torah on what they should do to avoid this punishment that's coming. All these people that are being killed by these hurricanes and sucked up in the water, being drowned in the sea, all of the tornadoes, all of the buildings crushing them, mashing them down, 5, 6, 7-story buildings, crushing them because of earthquakes. It's because, why? Like I said, because they did not observe or do the Torah. These people are being put to death. That is judgment. And you pray that you be able to see the day that you can stand through it and live and not taste death. That's what we're searching for. That's what we're seeking after. We want to avoid this punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spoke against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said, El Elyon, that he is not, and knew not his ways. See, that's what they did. They deceived their own self. They walked in their own vain imaginations, did not keep the Torah, rejected what he said, and basically said, El Elyon ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care about the Most High. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it, and I'm going to do me. That's what's getting people into these predicaments. That's what's causing them to be punished and being killed off. Because they said, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm not going to do no Torah, and I'm not going to be obedient to the Most High. This is what it is. It says, but his Torah have they despised. They despise his Torah, his word. and denied his covenants. You got people denying the covenants and despising his word. Oh, we ain't got to do all that stuff no more. The old law, that's done away with. The law done away with. We ain't got to do none of that Torah stuff. You know, we can do whatever we want to do. As long as we accept Jesus Christ, our Savior, then we going into heaven. According to what I'm just reading here, what I've just said, that's a lie. The devil is a lie, and the truth is not in him. Christianity is a lie, and the truth is not in it. Okay? Buddha is a lie, and the truth is not in him. Isis and Osiris, the Kemite Egyptian way, is a lie, and the truth is not in it. The Torah is in the truth. And that's what's going to make you be able to withstand all of the devastation and the hell that's coming upon this earth, and allow you to see the new kingdom. Okay? It says, and they have been faithful and have not performed his works. Therefore, Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told you shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth that be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son Yahushua shall be revealed with those but that be with him, and that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. So you see what he's saying? He let him know, all those that have kept my word, all of those that believe upon my son, all of those that remain, that shall not be killed off, they shall see Yahushua, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. We're the ones. We're within the 400 years. We're the ones that shall rejoice. Because we're the ones that are going to see Yahushua if we remain righteous and continue to keep his Torah. We will be able to stand with him in that day. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole concept. So when you're seeing, I suggest that you read Ezra 4, continue to read, because it even tells you what happens to mankind, what happens to you when you die, what you're going to see. A lot of us think, oh, we're going to die and then we just going to go and be at rest. Oh, no. Maybe that'll be my next lesson, because you need to know there's a process to it. That when you die, you're going to see some things. The angels are going to show you what you've inherited, be it the wicked, or the curses, or hell itself. You're going to see that. He's going to show you. You got 7 days to look at hell. And then if you die in the Hamashiach and you die in righteousness, you got 7 days to look at paradise. 7 days he'll let you see all of the confounds and the blessings and the beauty of paradise, of the heavens, and what we will obtain when he awakens you. And then he said he'll put you into your sleep chamber. And those that sleep in righteousness, it said the angels shall guard over them, and they shall be in peace and quiet, and they'll sit and they'll sleep, and they'll in their ruach they'll get to continue to be bathed in the things and the wonders and the glories of what they saw in paradise. But those that die unrighteously, those that did wicked, he said they ain't gonna rest. They're gonna put them in their sleep chambers, and all they're gonna keep is rehearsing is what they're gonna sleep, seeing all the hell and the torment of what it is that they have coming once he resurrects them in their immortal bodies. So see, that's why we really need to focus on Ezra's. Ezra's gives a lot of detail to what it is that we're running around here questioning and thinking and not sure about. See? So maybe that'll be my next one. But as for this one, now you understand that you're not going to be raptured. Now you understand that you have to endure what it is that you see. Now you understand that you have to spend your days unto more fasting and unto more prayer. Now you know you have to spend your days detaching yourself away from the sins and the iniquity and the foolishness of Babylon. Detach yourself away from the TVs and the radios and the iPods and the reality shows and the clubs and the nasty, stanky friends that ain't trying to do nothing but bring you down. Detach yourself from those people. Do like Ezra's. Seek after the things of the Most High. Bring yourself into righteousness so that as you're seeing all of this hell, chaos, and destruction and judgment come, you will be able to stand. That you will not taste of death. And that you'll be counted righteous before the Most High and the coming of his son Yahushua. So you will be able to inherit the earth. The meek, the righteous shall inherit the earth. So that's what we're striving for. So I hope that what I've read to you in this teaching, that you will understand that it should put your mind to ease about what it is that you're seeing. Now you have an understanding about what you're seeing. Now you're not caught up in these little poof imaginary clouds that Christianity has created for you to make you think, oh, we're just going to be raptured out of here. No. Now you know. Now you know the whole truth. Now you understand what's expected of you. The Most High said he gave us his Torah. Keep it. Keep it. And bring yourself and crucify your flesh daily. Like Ezra did. He crucified his flesh. He gave himself unto fasting. So deny yourself some things. Deny yourself from always getting up thinking you got to eat 24/7. You know, deny yourself of some of the chemicals and the toxins that's placed in some of these fast food chains. Get that mess out of your system. You know, drink green tea, do whatever you got to do. You know, just wash yourself, bathe your ruach daily in this word. And I'm going to post the audio of this Ezra's. I'm going to put it on this news feed. And I'm going to put the book of Ezra's there, the audio, so you could listen to it. You may not have time to read, but listen. If you can't listen, read. If you can't read, listen. If you can read and listen, do it all at the same time. That's what I do. And a lot of times I put these books up on my page for you all. I put these lost books and these apocryphal books. I post them. But you know what I see? I see people just clicking 1 or 2 likes. Or 2 or 3 people may share it. And I got almost 20,000 people following my page. Something is wrong. That means that half of you that are on here ain't even listening. Half of you on here are not even concerned about feeding your spirit and your ruach every day so that you'll be able to withstand all of this mess that you're looking at. So when I'm sharing these books with you, I'm giving them to you so you can learn and know all of what it is that Ezra knew, all of what it is that the prophets of the Hamashiach and the prophets of the Messiah and the prophets of this earth who are patriarchs, what they knew. You need to know what they know in order for you to survive what's coming. So when I put these books up, I'm going to expect for some of you who are on here that's watching now, you're going to start looking for them. And you're going to start listening to them. And you're going to start reading them. Okay? You're going to start putting them in your ear. You're going to meditate on the word day and night. Because I'm telling you all, if you don't do this, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You are not above what I just read in this book. You are not above this. No matter how much you want to tell yourself, I got it going on. I know that I'm saved. I know that I'm filled with the devil is a lie. If you don't know these books, if you don't understand the prophecies, if you don't meditate on his word day and night, if you don't give yourself unto fasting and detach yourself from Babylon, you're not going to make it. That's just 100% you're not going to make it. If Ezra himself was given all of his days unto fasting in the days when these people were under captivity of Artaxerxes and the Persians, and he saw all the wickedness that he was surrounded by, and even he was in confusion at times. But he said in order to break the confusion, he broke eating and consuming the things of the idols and the Babylonians, and he got himself into the Torah, and he started seeking and searching after the Most High. See, that's that narrow way that I was talking about. And some of you all, it's too narrow for you because you too relaxed. You like the Broadway. You don't want to give up these things of this world in order to put yourself on this narrow pathway so that you will be able to pass through it and enter into the greater city. You gotta squeeze through. And you got to squeeze through with faith, righteousness, prayer, and fasting, and keeping this Torah. So it's going to require you to crucify your flesh daily. It's going to require you to seek after the Most High daily and to put down the foolish things of this world. Forget about that nigga that ain't thinking about you. Forget about that woman that ain't trying to do nothing but get you to get into bed and defile the righteousness of what it is that you're trying to proclaim in the Most High. Forget about that dude that's telling you that he want to spend all his days figuring out how he want to take care of you, but in the meantime, he's trying to figure out how he need 4 or 5 more hoes in the house. Forget about that dude. Forget about it. Okay? Focus on this word. Forget about those people that want to fill you with drink and tell you, let's go out to the clubs. Let's go get some drink. Let me come to your house. I got a bottle of Ciroc. I got some liquor. Let's drink. Forget about that. You better put yourself into a state of righteousness where you become like a Nazarite. saying, I'll make a vow that I won't drink no wine or no liquor, because we're in the days where we need spiritual soberness. That's what we need. Forget about them dudes that want to sit up and smoke blunts and get high all day and tell you that this is the earth that we smoking, man. The Most High is warning us to stop abusing his temple. If your body was meant to have smoke placed in your lungs, then he would have put a chimney in the top of your head. The Mashiach didn't spend his days smoking and getting high and trying to check out from reality of what was around him. That's why he told us to be ye sober-minded. See, sober yourself up. Listen. You know, I'm crying out to you, not in anger. I'm crying out to you because I fear of what's coming to our people. I got love for my people. And I have a great fear and a great mourning in my heart for what's coming. Help me, Most High. Because he knows I spend days weeping for y'all. I spend days worried about you all. I toil over you in my spirit. I know I do. And he knows I do. So I spend my days and my nights asking the Most High to show you all what it is that I'm seeing, to show you what it is that Ezra saw, to show you what it is that Ezekiel saw, to show you what Isaiah saw. Because many are going to perish because they're not listening. They won't come out from under this blindness of this world. They won't come out from under the music. They won't come from under the rap and the drugs and the weed and the fornication and the sexual perversion. Free yourself from this, because what you see now is just a glimpse of what's coming. It's just a glimpse, and you won't be able to stand it, y'all. You won't be able. You're going to cry when you see your children being slaughtered like dogs in the street. You're going to cry when you see buildings crushing them and earthquakes falling, and they're being squeezed, the life being squeezed out of your newborn babies. You're going to cry when you see fire set to them because of the wickedness. You're going to mourn when you see the cities of desolation fall on this place. For the word says that in 1 hour Babylon shall be destroyed, and all nations shall see it, and they shall stand afar off, saying, woe, 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 unto the inhabitants of Babylon, for it has become the land of desolation and destruction in 1 hour. See, you got to come out from Babylon. You got to separate yourself from this madness. I know it looks good. I know it looks enticing. I know it looks indulgent. I know it looks fun. But this place is set up to destroy the house of Judah. It's set up to destroy the house of Israel. And for all you people that live in other nations, you think that this place is here to help you. It's here to destroy your spiritual connection with the Most High. So I warned you, don't even come here. Don't even come here. You don't know the spiritual battles and the fights that we got to go through every day to keep ourselves from being defiled by the wickedness of homosexuality and lesbianism. You don't know what we got to fight through to keep ourselves from being overtaken by the vain and evil thoughts and imaginations of this world and this government system, to tell us that it's okay that we can sex a dog, to tell us that it's okay that we can sex other beasts and animals, to give us the right to say that we can lay with each other, man upon man, woman upon woman, passing laws telling us that we can sin and defy the Most High laws every day. And then we go to church and we get lied to and tell us that as long as we accept their idol, Jesus Christ, as their Savior, that he forgives all things and we can continue to sin because grace will always abide. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. There will be no grace. You see that grace is ran out. When you see the destruction of these cities and the flood waters coming upon the earth, you see people drowning. The wild creatures are coming to eat them. The alligators are coming out of the water to kill those that survived the flood. And those that survived the flood and the hurricane are being bitten by snakes and being plagued by mosquitoes and being plagued by sickness and disease, walking around in feces and waste and manure, piss. All the sewages are running over. Do you think this is a blessing? Do you think this is the blessing of the Most High? This is a curse because of our iniquities and because of our rebellion. So please, I pray to you all. I pray to the Most High. I plead with you. Please, please put down this way. Put down Babylon. Pick up your Torah. Seek after the Most High with all your heart, all your soul, and your might, and repent. For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Judgment is upon the house of Israel and this in the whole entire earth. Because many have these afflictions and these judgments that I've called out to you. It's upon the whole earth. Look at Mexico. Look at China. Look at all of these different countries. They're all up under the judgment of the Most High. He said he's drawing near. He's making inquisitions. He's making judgments. And he's judging them, and he's killing off the wicked. Y'all forgive me for being emotional about this, but I know what it is. I know what it is. And I know some of you on here know what it is too. So I thank you for listening. I pray that you share this video. I thank the Most High that it didn't get cut off. And you spread this to your friends. Spread it to those that you say that you love. Don't keep this truth to yourself. You know, we're here to let this gospel go out to all four corners of the earth. And we don't have no way of going around on planes like some of these false prophets and flying to Africa and spreading lies and deception. All we have is social media. All we do have is the click of a button of our finger to share this so that it can go to every country and every nation who are of the house of Israel, who is spread out over all four corners of the earth. So push your button, share this, let your people know what's coming. Let the earth know what is coming. The Most High is here to judge this earth. Shalom to all of you. Love to all of you. And may the Most High bless you. And may this word be a hearing. May you receive it in your ruach. And may you get an understanding. And may you let it ponder over your spirit. I don't care if you got to listen to it 4 or 5 times. May it just hold on to this truth, y'all. Don't let it go. Shalom.